What if one small thing, done every night, could completely transform your life? Not a giant leap, not a lucky break, just one quiet moment before you fall asleep. Would you do it? Because here's the truth. No one tells you. Your life isn't shaped only during the day. It's shaped in silence, in the dark, when no one's watching. When your eyes close and your mind starts to wander, most people spend their nights replaying failures, regretting what they didn't do, worrying about what might go wrong tomorrow. They go to bed carrying the weight of the day, and they don't even realize what it's doing to them. They think sleep is rest. But for the mind, it's rehearsal. Your subconscious doesn't sleep the way your body does. It listens. It absorbs. It takes the final thoughts of your day and writes them into your belief system. And that belief system, it controls how you think, act, and live. This isn't philosophy, this is psychology. Your subconscious mind, the part of you that runs beneath your awareness, is most open and receptive just before you fall asleep. In that moment, you are shaping your identity. You are telling your brain who you are and what you expect from life. And yet most people whisper failure to themselves every single night. I'll never make it. I'm tired of trying. This is just the way things are. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But the ones who rise, the ones who lead, who grow, who break limits, they do something different. They speak life to themselves when the world is quiet. They command their mind instead of letting it run wild. Because what you feed your mind becomes your mindset. And your mindset becomes your reality. Now, here's the part no one talks about. This doesn't take hours. It doesn't require money, luck, or a perfect plan. It's just one mental shift. A change in how you speak to yourself, a new nightly ritual. If you stay with me through this video, I'll show you how to create that ritual. One that is simple, powerful, and proven. One that Napoleon Hill himself taught in Think and Grow Rich, used by thousands who transformed ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. And you can do it too. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever felt like you were meant for more but couldn't figure out how to get there, this may be the piece you've been missing, because your greatest transformation doesn't start when the sun rises. It starts when your head hits the pillow. Stay with me. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to do tonight and every night after to start creating the life you were meant to live. You're not just going to sleep tonight. You're going to speak to your future, and it's going to listen. Every night, just before sleep, your mind opens a door. Not a physical door, but a mental one. A direct path to your subconscious. And whatever thoughts pass through that door get planted deep within you. They grow roots. They take shape. And in time, they become the story you live out every day. This is the power of repetition. What you tell yourself over and over again, especially before sleep, becomes part of who you are. Not because it's true, but because you believed it long enough to make it real. Think about it. If someone told you every day that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, and you believed them, eventually you'd stop trying, you'd shrink yourself. You'd settle for less. But if someone told you every day that you're capable, strong, and destined for something greater, and you believed that instead, your choices would be different. Your energy would shift. You would rise. That someone needs to be you. You must be the one who feeds your mind the words that build you, not break you. Because repetition builds belief. And belief changes everything. Before you sleep, your brain enters a state called the hypnagogic state. A place between awake and asleep. In that state, your inner critic is quiet, your defenses are down, you're most open to suggestion. And this is where transformation begins. The thoughts you repeat in that window, positive or negative, become the script for your next day, and the next, and the next. Do not waste that moment with fear. Do not hand it over to worry, guilt, or self-doubt. Use it with intention. Repeat what builds you. Speak what empowers you, because repetition in that stillness is not just memory, it is creation. Let your last words each night be the first step into a better life. There's a reason why millions have turned to one name for guidance in times of doubt, Napoleon Hill, not because he gave people motivation, but because he gave them a system to build belief. He discovered what all great leaders, thinkers, and achievers knew. Your thoughts are not powerless. They are instructions to your future. His most famous words still echo through time. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. These are not just poetic lines. They are commands, mental blueprints. Hill taught that the key to unlocking success lies in a powerful process called autosuggestion. It means this: whatever you repeatedly tell yourself, consciously and unconsciously, becomes your truth. And the most effective time to practice this? Just before you fall asleep. When you're drifting into unconsciousness, your mind is wide open, ready to absorb, ready to believe. This is where leaders separate from the average. The average person ends their day with passive thoughts. But those who grow, those who lead, they end their day with intentional belief. They speak success before it happens. They visualize outcomes before they arrive. And slowly their inner world begins to reflect in their outer life. This is not magic. This is mental discipline. Hill wasn't asking people to fake success. He was showing them how to build it, starting in their minds. You don't need to predict the how. You need to command the what, the vision, and repeat it until belief takes root. When you do this, you'll notice something powerful. Your actions will begin to align with the vision you're planting. Your confidence will grow. Opportunities will seem to find you, not because life changed on its own, but because you did. Your thoughts, spoken with belief, are the first step toward everything you've been waiting for. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're unaware. They don't realize that every night they are programming their mind, not on purpose, but by accident. They lie down in silence and let the noise take over. Thoughts like, I'm tired of this life. Nothing ever works out. I'll probably mess it up again. They don't say them loudly, but they repeat them silently, and those whispers turn into beliefs. That's how you stay stuck. Not because life is holding you back, but because your mind is stuck in a loop you don't even realize you're playing. Here's the hard truth. If you don't take control of your last thoughts at night, they will take control of you. And most people never question them. They wake up tired, they feel heavy, they chase motivation in the morning, but they fed their minds defeat the night before. The cycle repeats. And days turn into months. Dreams turn into regrets. You were not born to live this way. You were not created to sleep beside fear. You were not meant to tuck in failure and wake up with doubt. That's not your story, but it becomes your reality when you let your thoughts wander in darkness without purpose. The people who rise, the ones who lead their lives, instead of getting lost in them, they do one thing differently. They become intentional. They decide what to believe. And they feed that belief when it matters most, right before sleep, because they understand your mind doesn't stop working when your eyes close. It works harder. It organizes, stores, and builds. Make sure it's building the right future, because if you don't tell it what you want, it will repeat what you fear, and fear never leads to freedom. Change doesn't begin with a big announcement. It begins with a quiet decision, a personal commitment. And one of the most powerful habits you can ever build is what you choose to repeat to yourself every single night. This isn't about hype. It's not about forcing confidence. It's about repetition. And repetition is how your mind learns. It's how it accepts new beliefs as reality. So here's what you do. Before you close your eyes, speak truth into your future. You can whisper it. You can think it silently, but say it like you mean it. Say things like, I am becoming stronger. My life is moving in the right direction. I am not my past. Every night I grow. Every morning I rise better than before. I speak clarity. I speak courage. I speak discipline into my mind. You're not lying to yourself. You're choosing to believe a better truth, a truth that builds you. Because belief is not about what is, it's about what can be. The subconscious mind is shaped through consistent emotional repetition. And the best time to do that shaping? At night, when the body rests and the mind is listening without resistance. This habit is not about perfection. It's about presence. You're creating a new environment in your mind, a place where hope lives, where strength grows, where fear doesn't get the final word. Every night, this is your job. Plant the seed, water it with belief, and let it grow while you sleep. It might feel small at first. It might feel awkward, but over time your mind will begin to accept it. And when belief takes root, your life starts to shift. This isn't just motivation, it's mental reprogramming, and it's available to anyone willing to try tonight. Your mind doesn't respond to empty words. It responds to emotion. That's why some affirmations feel flat. Why saying I'm successful without belief feels hollow. Because the power isn't just in the phrase, it's in the feeling behind it. You must feel what you say, because emotion is the language your subconscious truly understands. When you speak with emotion, your mind pays attention. It says, this matters, and it locks it in. Think of the most unforgettable moments in your life. They stuck with you not because of what happened, but because of how they made you feel. Pain, joy, shame, pride, all burned into memory because of emotion. Now flip that power. Use it to build, not break. Each night, when you repeat powerful truths to yourself, let them move you. Don't say them like a task. Say them like a vow. Say them like a promise you refuse to break. Close your eyes. Picture what you want. See yourself living it. Feel the strength of that vision in your chest. When you say, I am capable, let it pulse through your body. When you whisper, I am not giving up, let it come from your bones. That's how belief is formed, not just through words, but through emotional truth. You are not just training your mind, you're rewiring it with feelings of strength, hope, and purpose. Do it long enough, and your mind will stop fighting you. It will start believing you. And when belief locks in, your actions begin to follow without resistance, without force. Because the strongest minds aren't built with logic alone. They are built through conviction, deep emotional connection to a better future. So when you speak to yourself tonight, don't just go through the motions. Feel the fire behind your words. Let your emotions light the path forward. Because when heart and mind align, there's no limit to what you can create. Doubt is not just a passing thought, it's an identity crisis. It's your mind asking, am I really the person who can do this? And if you don't answer that question clearly, repeatedly, doubt will answer it for you. But here's the truth. You don't remove doubt by fighting it. You remove doubt by replacing it with certainty, with identity, with a new, stronger version of you. Every night before sleep, you must stop feeding the identity that keeps you small and start creating the one that pulls you forward. That means no more saying, I hope things work out. No more asking, what if I'm not good enough? Instead, you say, I am the kind of person who figures it out. And I am becoming someone unstoppable. Says, I lead my life. I don't run from it. This is how identity works. It's built through language, through what you repeat about yourself. Your brain listens. And the more often you describe yourself a certain way, the more your life moves in that direction. Most people describe themselves based on the past. But the future is built by those who describe themselves by vision. You don't rise by facts, you rise by belief. So every night, give your subconscious a new blueprint, one that says, I am not who I was, I am who I decide to be. Make it real, make it specific, say it with conviction. Over time, your identity begins to shift, your actions become aligned, and the gap between who you are and who you want to be starts to close. This is not pretending, this is choosing. Because confidence doesn't come from proof, it comes from identity. And identity is built one belief at a time, especially in the quiet moments when no one's watching and your future is listening. Your brain doesn't care if what you tell it is true or false. It only cares how often you repeat it. That's how belief is formed, not through facts, but through frequency. When you say something over and over, your brain accepts it, not because it's logical, but because it's familiar. And the familiar becomes truth in your subconscious. This is why people stay stuck, not because they're broken, but because they repeat the wrong things too many times. I'm not ready, I never get it right. This is just who I am. Those aren't facts, they're habits. Habits of thought, habits of speech, habits of belief. But here's the good news, you can change them. And it starts by choosing different words, especially at night, because that's when your brain is most open. That's when it's most ready to accept new patterns. And if you feed it the right ones, it will start working for you. Say it again and again, I am enough. I am capable. My time is coming. I attract strength, not fear. At first your mind might resist. That's normal because you're interrupting old patterns. But keep going because the subconscious doesn't accept truth based on logic. It accepts truth based on repetition. And once it accepts a new truth, it starts building a new world around it. You'll notice you walk differently. You speak more clearly. You make choices with confidence instead of hesitation, not because anything outside changed, but because the inside did. The words you speak shape the life you live. So speak them on purpose. Speak them often, and speak them like your future depends on it, because it does. Words alone are powerful, but when combined with clear images, they become unstoppable. Your mind doesn't just respond to what you say, it responds to what you see. Every night before sleep, take a moment to visualize your success. Picture yourself living the life you want. See the details, the place, the people, the feelings. Feel the pride in your chest. Hear the sound of your own confidence. Taste the victory. When you visualize with emotion, you create a mental rehearsal. You train your brain to accept this future as possible. It's not daydreaming, it's training. Neuroscience shows your brain can't always tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. So when you practice success in your mind, you're preparing yourself for it in real life. This mental practice builds new neural pathways. It strengthens the connection between your goals and your actions. Every night, this simple exercise rewires your brain to expect success. It primes your body and mind to act in ways that align with your vision. When you wake up, you'll carry that energy with you. Your decisions will be clearer, your focus sharper, your confidence stronger. This is how leaders think. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create the feeling of success first. Then they take the steps to make it real. So don't just say it, see it, feel it. Live it in your mind before you live it in the world. Because what you hold in your mind each night becomes your reality each day. Change isn't easy. Your mind will resist. Negative thoughts will try to sneak in. Old fears will surface just when you think you've moved past them. This resistance is normal. It's part of the process. Your brain is wired to protect you, sometimes by holding you back. But here's the truth. Resistance doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing, or it means you're on the edge of something new. When negative thoughts come, don't fight them with force. Don't try to push them away and get frustrated. Instead, acknowledge them. Say, I see you, but I choose to focus on what builds me. Then gently return your mind to the positive words and images you've committed to. Think of it like training a puppy. You don't yell at it for wandering. You guide it back patiently and consistently. The more you practice this, the easier it gets. Your mind learns that the positive path is safer and stronger than the old fear-filled one. Remember, your thoughts are not facts. They are just thoughts. You get to decide which ones deserve your energy. Each time you choose to redirect your mind, you strengthen your willpower. You build mental muscles that protect your dreams. Over time, the negative noise loses power. It becomes background static instead of a loud storm. And when that happens, your nightly practice becomes a fortress, a place where hope, strength, and belief grow, no matter what the day threw at you. So welcome resistance as a sign of progress, and keep coming back night after night to the words and visions that change your life. Success is not a one-time event. It's a series of small, consistent actions, especially in your mind. The power of what you do every night isn't about a single moment of motivation. It's about showing up again and again, even when it feels hard or pointless. Your mind craves patterns. It builds habits based on what you repeat. Consistency trains your subconscious to accept new truths. Think of your nightly practice like planting seeds in a garden. You don't see flowers after one day. But if you water those seeds every day, you create life. You create growth. This is why so many people quit before the breakthrough. They expect change to happen fast. They give up when results don't show immediately. But leaders know the secret: consistency compounds. Every night you feed your mind with positive beliefs, your brain strengthens those pathways. Every night you visualize success, you prepare your body to act in new ways. Every night you choose identity over doubt, you build unshakable confidence. No moment is wasted. No effort is too small. If you keep this habit alive, your life will start to reflect it. Your days will be filled with clearer decisions. Your goals will feel closer. Your spirit will be stronger. Consistency is the silent force behind every great achievement, and it begins with the commitment you make each night to yourself. The question is, will you show up tonight? Will you say the words? Will you hold the vision? Because that choice will echo through your life long after you've fallen asleep. Great leaders don't just rely on talent or luck. They rely on habits that sharpen their mind and spirit. Your nightly routine is one of those habits, a powerful tool to build leadership within yourself. When you speak to yourself with purpose before sleep, you're practicing leadership. You're taking control of your inner world. You're deciding what guides your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Leadership starts inside. It begins with self-discipline. It begins with clarity about who you want to be. By making your nightly routine a non-negotiable, you create mental strength. You build resilience against doubt, fear, and distraction. This practice teaches you to lead your mind, not follow it blindly. It trains you to communicate with yourself clearly and confidently. And clear communication with yourself reflects in how you speak and lead others. Every night you reinforce the qualities of a leader: calmness in uncertainty, confidence in challenges, focus in chaos. This is your chance to take control before the day ends, before your mind drifts into old fears and doubts. You're planting the seeds of leadership with every intentional thought you choose. And those seeds grow into habits. Habits grow into character. Character shapes your future. The leaders you admire started this way, quietly, privately, with small choices made consistently. They understood the power of mindset and the importance of self-talk. So use your nightly moments wisely, because when you lead yourself well, everything else in life follows. Every choice you make tonight shapes your tomorrow. The thoughts you feed your mind before sleep plant the seeds of your future reality. This habit isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about designing who you will become. It's about directing your life with intention and purpose. When you consistently remind yourself of your strengths and goals, you create a mental roadmap. Your brain begins to focus on opportunities, solutions, and growth. You start to notice possibilities that were invisible before. Your confidence grows not because circumstances change overnight, but because your mind believes change is possible, and belief is the first step to action. The future you want isn't a mystery. It's a result of the habits you build today, especially the ones you build in your quiet moments, the moments when no one else is watching and your mind is most receptive. These moments are more powerful than any motivational speech or external push, because lasting change starts inside you, with a commitment to your own growth, with the words you choose to speak to yourself. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep, remember this: you hold the pen to your story. You decide the direction of your life, and the habit you build right now will echo through every tomorrow that follows. Make it count, make it real, and watch your life transform one night at a time. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, deep, unwavering patience. You won't see the full impact of your nightly practice immediately. Change often feels slow, invisible, even frustrating. But that doesn't mean it's not happening. Growth is like a tree, roots growing underground before the first leaf appears. You may not notice progress day to day, but beneath the surface, your mind is rewiring, reshaping, preparing. Trust the process. Trust the quiet work you do in the dark before sleep. Because this is where your future is built. Patience means showing up even when it feels like nothing is changing. It means holding belief without proof. It means knowing that every word, every image, every feeling you create tonight is an investment in your confidence, in your resilience, in your power to lead yourself and others. Remember, the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. Your nightly commitment is that fire. It may challenge you, it may test your will, but it will make you stronger. Stay patient with yourself. Celebrate small wins. Keep moving forward, because one day you'll look back and see how far you've come, and you'll realize that the patience you practiced was the secret to your success. The moment you decide to commit to this nightly habit, you take control of your destiny. This is not just a routine, it's a promise to yourself, a promise to grow to believe, and to lead. Every night you speak words of strength, visualize success, and replace doubt with identity. You are building a foundation so strong nothing outside can shake it. Your future self is counting on the choices you make now. Will you choose to nurture your mind? Will you speak to yourself like a leader, like a champion? Will you believe in the possibility of your own greatness? This is the power you hold. This is the power no one can take from you. Remember, the life you want isn't some distant dream. It's a reality that grows one night at a time, through your words, your feelings, and your commitment. So tonight and every night after, make the decision to lead yourself well. Speak with conviction. See your success clearly. Feel the strength within you grow, because your journey starts here in this quiet moment, and the life you change starting now is the life you will live tomorrow. Make that commitment. Hold it close and watch as your world transforms.